if you all can have any more suggestions. Let's see. Yeah, I heard it. She says better on Facebook Live. Okay, so here we go. All right. So welcome to the first show. We are dealing with three things today. Y'all know that. And the first thing is topics, right? Topics. Then we'll move to tantrums and we'll move to tea. So let's get right on into it. So my girl Tracy, shout out to Tracy for sending me the idea to deal with cuties. I told you all that I was open and hope that you would send me in anything that you thought would be interested in talking about in terms of the topic, the tantrum, or the tea. And Tracy sent me this information, which is, she sent me the information about Cuties, the movie, and said, you need to watch this movie. Now, she sent it to me 2 or 3 days in a row, and I kept saying, I'm going to get around to it. I didn't get around to it until night before last, and I was so glad I did. So glad I did, because it was a perfect topic to discuss. So if you did get a chance to watch it, I know Tracy did, I know Crystal did, let me know. If you did not get a chance to watch Cuties, which is on Netflix, please do so. So let me give you a little bit of background information. I don't want to go, well, just let me give you a little background information. So the movie is about a little girl. She is about, I want to say she's 11, I believe it is. Yeah, 11-year-old little girl named Ami. And it takes place in France, in a city in France, right? She's a Senegalese little African girl. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that when she comes into the country, she clearly she is seemingly moving into the country with her mother. Her father's not there because he's behind doing some other things, but they're moving in. It's she, her mother, and her baby brother. The point is, the little girl is wanting really, really badly to fit in. And she, of course, not only is she new, but she's also African, which is a little different than what's going on around where she is, right? So she really, really wants to fit in with this group and this crowd. So what eventually happens, and this is the main thing, what eventually happens is she finds out when she goes to school one day that these little girls really like to dance, and they're in a little dance club. They have a little dance group. Right. And I shouldn't say a little dance group because they're little girls, but they are very, very serious about dance. You know, it's almost like these kids are like miniature fame kids, right? They're really into dance. And on her way to school or back from school one day or whatever, whichever it was, she sees these 3 or 4 little girls, 4 little girls. And they are really dancing. But not only are they really dancing, they are dressed very promiscuously. They are, I saw something about, let's see, I think, did you say they took it away? If folks hadn't watched it yet, Netflix took it away. Y'all missed it. Okay, so let me continue. So it had come that you're completely frozen. I just see something. Tracy, am I still frozen? Oh, this is irritating. Let's see. Tracy just sent me something, so I'm trying to see what it is. Oh Lord. Put something in the chat if you're still on. Anybody, so I know you're here. And I'm gonna click back over to Facebook real quick. See what I can see. If I hit this, so what do I get? Okay, so the right one is up now. As long as if they follow the face that looks like me right now, they'll be in. Okay, so the little girl wants really bad to be like these other kids. So what she does is, after watching them dance and what have you, and really, really, really paying attention to it, she really wants to be in this group. She starts watching these girls on a regular basis, almost stalking them, because she really wants to be a part of who they are. But at the same time, she realizes that the kind of sexually suggestive dancing that they're doing, and the kind of clothes they're wearing, she sees on music videos. It's not taken away, just checked. Okay. She sees it on music videos and she starts you were gone, Trace. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my connection, but she gets enthralled with this whole half naked, and really sexual suggestive dancing. What's interesting though is that she is from an Islamic family. She's Muslim. So they are portraying and they are teaching the complete opposite of what she sees. But all of this is new to her. So what she ends up doing is she ends up stealing a cell phone, because that is her way to see what's going on in the world. Of course, she steals a cell phone from her cousin, I think it is, and he doesn't know it, of course. But when she steals that cell phone, she really gets a good look at what's going on in terms of this whole sexually suggestive culture that girls are involved, that women are involved in. But they don't, these little girls don't necessarily, they don't see themselves as little girls. And that's very clear in the way they are approached. It's very clear in the way they approach people. It's very clear in the way they dress. It's clear in the way they talk, that they are pretending and wanting clearly to be grown women, right? And being really seeing the sexual side of being a grown woman. And that's what they're most enthralled with. So the controversy has been that these children that play these roles are really children. They're not older women that look like children, which is like what I thought they were. I just assumed that was the case, but that's not the case. This 11-year-old is really only 14-year-old, 14-year-old. Another 11-year-old is really only 12-year-old. And the kind of clothing that they're wearing, and the kind of poses that they're in, and the kind of nudity and suggestion that's here, people got all in an uproar and a tizzy, because they felt like this is something that children should not be seen. You know, we should not be seen in this light. Our children should not be seen in this light. I mean, when I say suggestive, I mean they all bent over with their hands all in between their legs and pulling them up from the side, and you know, the whole bit. In one scene, one girl rips her shirt up and you see her little nipples, and people are just, they're losing their mind, saying that this is not what should be taking place on TV with children, right? Now, keep in mind that it was not made in France. And as of right now, I'm not really giving my opinion. This is my first question for y'all. Well, let me just read something first that I got, because I saw something on the internet about it, and I thought that I would just welcome you all that are coming in. I know that some of you had a problem getting in tonight. I apologize about that. This is my first time. Bear with your girl. Bear with your girl. Share the video link if you can. This one, because apparently the other one expired or something. But share the video link. But let me just share something that I got. Tracy, let me know how I'm doing in terms of what you can hear and what you can see right now. Or anyone, let me know how I'm doing in terms of what you can see and what you can hear. So here's one thing that I found on, and this was on Roger Ebert's page, right? It's by a woman named Monica Castillo. But I thought this quote was really interesting. She said that Dokur, I think is the name, which is the name of the director. Dokur uses these uncomfortable images to provoke a serious conversation about the sexualization of girls, especially regarding girls of color. The policing of girl sexuality, double standards, the effect of social media on kids, and how children learn these behaviors. To do this, the director shows what it looks like for a young girl to emulate emulate what they see in music videos and grown-up dance routines. I'm gonna stop right there. So my question is to you, do you think, let me just ask you this first, do you think that this kind of movie was too sexual to show, or too sexual a way to portray children of this age? That's my first question. You all answer that for me. Let me look back at some of these comments. Crystal said it's not taken away, but it's checked, meaning the movie. Tracy said, oh, I'm back. So she must have got kicked out or something. Crystal said, I hope they got therapy and mental background checks on being casted for it. That's a very interesting point. Okay, good. Crystal said she can hear well and see well. That makes me feel good. Okay, so Crystal said that she hoped they got therapy. Crystal, do you think that it was too suggestive for a child that age? Do you think it's something that maybe Netflix needs to pull? Let me know. And anybody else who wants to chime in. Crystal, I'm so glad that you said you can hear well and see well. Hopefully everybody else can too. I see there are other people that are coming in. I can't necessarily see your name yet, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do me a favor and share this stream on your social media accounts so that you can help me build my platform. Please, please, please. And while you all are thinking about that, I'm going to read the other part that I got today offline. Same woman, and it says, a few times in the film, we see confused or even disgusted faces of adults watching the younger generation gyrate and twerk, biting their lips or their nails in a suggestive way. It is likely that these girls don't fully understand what those gestures mean, but they see it in pop culture and they imitate it, like several other generations of girls before them. Okay, let's see what's going on. Crystal says she hopes it got therapy. She can see well. Gwendolyn McCullough said, cuz you are breaking up on my end. Oh, that's what Tracy said too. I don't know what's going on. Corey, what's going on your end? Let me know. I'm not sure what the connection issue is. I'm going to I have to have Comcast look into it because we increased it. To what they call the blast so that we wouldn't have these problems. But clearly we're still having some problems. Cuties provides a platform for families to talk and use it, I think she said. What is your take on that? Pee-wee, let me know if it changes at all. Corey said, I hate that it's reality for our babies. I appreciate that the conversation is being had. We have got to have conversation with our children, be involved with them, and not allow it. That's interesting. Try going live on IG, Vic. Can I do that from my computer? Because I don't really use IG. You think it'll be better than this format, Trace? Let me see. I guess I could just do it on my phone. Give me 1 second. Still breaking up badly. Wow. Okay, I'll try to go live on IG as well. Okay, I'm live on IG right now. So let me just put that right there. Hopefully. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, I'm on IG too. IG too. Okay, so adults judge the audition and competition while they dance suggestively in their skimpy outfits in public. Corey, did you see it too? Let me know. We're talking about Cuties for those of you who are just coming in. Crystal said, I think that it should have been played publicly on Netflix or just a film for college classrooms. Some kids may have had access to it, and pervs maybe should have been provided learning purposes. That's interesting because I'm sure. Okay, here we need volume, Trace. Okay, what about now? Let me know if that's any better. Is that any better, Tracy? Because I gave you all the volume I have, so hopefully that's a little better. So, Corey said she watched it last week. Awesome. That was what? Tracy, what in the heck is going on? Hold on. All right. What about now, Tracy? The volume is completely up. The pick is amazing. Well, hopefully we get something else to change other than the pick. So the volume is all the way up. Yeah, it's all the way up. So hopefully it'll change. So okay, Crystal said I think it should have been played. I think so too. Crystal, no freezing but no volume. What? That's crazy. I think so too. First I thought that I was going to be I think Tracy thought too that I wasn't going to be able to feel this hook. So when she sent it to me, she said, keep an open mind, Vic, keep an open mind. I thought, okay, I will do that. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, first of all, I watched it with my 16-year-old. We were on the edge of our seats, not because we were waiting for the next thing to happen, because we were scared to death. It was just so, it made me cringe. It made me cringe to see those little girls in the situations they were in. Several places, like for instance, when they were in the paint house with those men, I just knew that those men were going to take advantage of them. Or when the little girl pulled her pants down in front of her cousin because she wanted to keep his phone and thought that she gave him a little something that she'd get his phone. So there were a lot of reasons and a lot of places. Tracy, I heard you said restarted. I'll do that. Oh, can you hear it? You said yay. Oh, you can hear. Okay, she said she can hear now. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, so I was just scared at every turn of what could happen or what might take place during that, all these, these relationships they had, and these interactions that they have with different people. In terms of, okay, Corey said, I'm watching on Facebook by just clicking the YouTube direct connection where we can comment is the one that's jacked up. I'm switching back and forth. Interesting. Huh. I just knew. You said you just knew a rape was going to happen. Me too. Me too. I just couldn't. I was on pins and needles, right? So now let me move on. When I think about the fact that it is extremely suggestive, and the fact that those babies were actually babies, now that surprised me. I didn't expect them to be babies. Matter of fact, when I talked to my daughter, we were talking about discussing it, I said to her, more than likely, these are not real girls. They're probably women that look like babies, right? But then, of course, immediately I went to the internet to see if they were, and they were not children. I started thinking another way. I was like, oh man, because there was a whole lot of skin. There was a whole lot of everything. It was just in your face, and it was nerve-wracking to see. But what I believe is exactly what I saw that the director said, pretty much, and that was that she wanted you to know that this is what it is. So if we could look at something like that and just start cringing, or if we look at something like that and become angry, mortified, indignant, my thought is, and I don't want to see my baby up there. I don't want to see nobody's baby up there looking like that. But the truth of the matter is that my belief is that is what we are allowing when we allow these women and men to portray us as women in these videos and music and this and culture in a way that is exactly what those girls were attracted to. When I hear that people are so angry, because when you read the articles, they're vehement about, they're disgust in watching these babies do this and that and the other. And my ultimate thought is, if you got that kind of pain behind what you saw, or that kind of passion behind what you saw, rather than trying to cancel Netflix, you need to be trying to cancel Cardi B. You feel me? It seems to me that if we have that kind of passion, we canceling the wrong people, right? Because just like in the film, these babies didn't make this up. I think it was hard to look at because they were children, but those children are having the same access to that shit that we do. Some of them are 4 and 5 and younger, and they have the same kind of access that we do. Tracy, I see you said Brooke Shields was 14 when she made Blue Lagoon. 10-minute sex scene. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And here's the other thing. Brooke Shields was a sex symbol for white men for a long time. A long, long time. So Crystal said, I knew a rape was gonna, okay, a rape was gonna happen. I expected a whole bunch of stuff to happen in that movie. I really did. But I really don't think that we should be, well, not that we shouldn't be upset. I think that we should be upset, but I think that kind of anger is directed at the wrong person, the wrong organization, the wrong entity. Because I think that we should, that as especially now, what was interesting about this movie too, though, is it wasn't just Black girls. There was a Black girl, there was a Hispanic girl, or there's an African girl. Yeah. There was a Hispanic girl, there was a white girl, and there was maybe another Hispanic girl. Maybe she would have been Hispanic. So I think that was purposeful too. Tracy said these children are our babies. Absolutely they are. Absolutely they are. And I think that the director purposefully used different skin tones, different cultures on purpose to let you know that this thing is far and wide, it's big. It's much larger than one particular culture or race. And I believe that's true. At the same time, though, I do think that the Black community is more inundated with this kind of thing. Absolutely. And I think that's the case because the Black community is a community where most of the hip hop music comes out of, right? We created hip hop like we created jazz. It is what it is, right? Now it has spilled over into some other communities and other cultures, but it was created by us. And unfortunately, that is the same avenue that is used to turn our children into thoughts. That hole over there. I know y'all know what that is. That's the same community, in my opinion, that is a vehicle used to turn our children wayward. Now, it's not like we haven't seen some of these things before, because of course I go back to thinking about like Luke Skywalker, and I was a kid and didn't agree with that, but I was what, 16, 17 years old, but I knew that was too raunchy for a child. I knew that. But I'm sick and tired. I'm gonna tell you what makes me even angrier than watching these babies, because the babies are only a byproduct of what we allow or we create. What makes me more angry is the fact that our men and our women, young men and women can be used so easily and directed so easily and manipulated so easy for a few pieces of silver. They'll sell out the whole community for a few pieces of silver. That's what pisses me off. Because the truth of the matter is those few pieces of silver ain't gonna last long way. Because you're gonna find out even that was fool's. It was fool's gold. It was fool's silver. Because they only dangle it in front of you or give you a little bit for a little while before they figure out how to take it back. You can ask people like R. Kelly that. He'll tell you that shit. They only give it to you for a minute anyway. Right? They let you enjoy it and get used to it. And then you find yourself locked up like Bill Cosby. So, tell me your thoughts on that. Let me know what y'all think about that there. And I'm going to sip my tea while I do that. Now, Corey, you said you watching from the link on Facebook by just clicking. And then the YouTube direct connection where we can comment is the one that's jacked up. Okay, so, all right. April's Famous Bakes. Hello, Tracy. You feel me? Okay, so let me do this. If I go to, y'all just hang out with me for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure it out. Y'all know we having some technical difficulties. Let me click on the Facebook thing and see what happens. Brings me back to this. I'm not sure what to do about that. Let me go back here. Okay, so I still have. Okay, so Tracy said folk better know what their kids are doing. Absolutely. So that was interesting. Okay, April said I just logged in, so I missed the discussion. Okay, but April, okay, you're on Instagram, so I know you can hear me. I mean, yeah, you're on Instagram. So on Facebook, on Facebook and YouTube, or at least YouTube, we're having some kind of issue. I deal with that at a later date because I can't figure it out now. Okay, so April, here's a discussion. We are talking about our topic, and the topic is Netflix cutie movie, Cuties. the whole movie, the entire movie is about thought culture, and it's about these little 11-year-old girls, and 11-year-old girls have a dance group, but they are, if you have not seen it yet, I'm assuming you haven't. The 11-year-old girls are fascinated, especially the one. There's one who's an African, and she is the protagonist. She's a Senegalese little girl, and she's Muslim. But she moves to this city in France. And when she comes to the city in France, she is supposed to start school and everything like that. When she does, she gets involved with these 11-year-old girls that she really likes because she wants to be included. But they are into thought culture. They dress like 20-year-old women. And they're like in I think they might be elementary, honestly. I don't think they're middle school. No, they're not, because one is 11, right? So they dress like grown women wearing heels, the whole bit. They can dance, but they dance like strippers. But that is what she's enthralled with because she doesn't know anything else, and she wants to be connected to this community. So it really gets to be hard to watch, to see these little girls interact with other people, and you see them when they literally, the little African girl is the one who it was hard to watch. She is the one who, she's supposed to be sitting in church, right? And well, not church, I'm sorry. She's supposed to be sitting in the mosque, and she is in the mosque. So they have her, the women are praying, right? And they have her sitting in the middle, and she has her, I think the name, I know it's a burqa when you're completely covered. I can't remember what they call it when you're not completely covered, but the one you cover your head with. But when they're praying, sometimes they cover their head when they're praying. So here is 11-year-old girl, April. This part, I was cringing. They're sitting in the mosque, and all the women are on the floor sitting down there praying, and they have her in the middle. So she's in the middle while they're praying, and she has her piece on her head. I wish I had a piece of material so I could really, play it off. But she has her piece on her head. And in the middle of the prayer, she pulls it over her head, which wouldn't be odd, you're praying. She pulls it over her head, but she pulls it over her head completely. So when she pulls over her completely, they assume that she's in there praying. Her ass is on the cell phone that she stole from her cousin, watching strippers booty jerking. So they think she praying, and they praying, blah, 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 but she literally is under her covering with the phone enthralled, just about slobbing, honestly, watching these strippers. When I say strippers, I mean they are stripping, they asses is bare, they slapping on each other's ass, which ain't much different than what we see in the WAP video, right? They slapping on each other and bouncing each other's asses, and the whole while she's all, literally, she's like she's about to come. The little girl, it's unbelievable how enthralled she is with that. So they think she's praying. When she leaves that situation, the next thing you see her back in school. And at first, the other little girls don't want nothing to do with her. But she's determined that she's going to be a part of this clique. She tell them that she's going to teach them. Well, actually, she show them. She started doing some dances they can't do. And the stuff she doing, this is stuff she been researching. So her ass is just a flipping. And they like, oh, she can do that. They like, oh, you can be in the club. All of a sudden, she becomes the teacher. So she got their ass right, P-Valley strippers. Exactly. So she got their asses lined up like she is Debbie Allen, teaching them how to do all these stripper moves. And these 11-year-old girls, mind you. And the whole thing that people were upset about was because they had these 11-year-old girls doing all this shit. Anything you see, anything you see normally in these videos and on P-Valley, they were doing all of that at 11 years old, and they really were kids. So that was the issue. But we moved past that piece. And my point is that was extremely hard to watch. At the same time, it is the extreme truth. It is the exact shit that these babies are exposed to. And we have a part in it by allowing this type of exposure and not not calling anybody on the carpet, any of the record companies, any of these artists who will sell out their whole community for a wooden nickel, right? And that's what it is, because it don't last. It don't last. They only have that. They're only up on top for a minute before they snatch them down, embarrass them, take everything from them. You feel me? So, yeah. Let me see what April said. April said she is misguided and lost. That's sad. It was very sad. It's a documentary of, no, it's a fiction. It's a story. It's a movie. It's a movie. Crystal then switched over to Instagram. Hey, Chris. Yeah, her mom had real issues, and that's true, Tracy. So let me just tell you quickly about that, and then we're going to move on. I knew that this topic might run us way over, because we have 2 more to discuss, and I wanted to be out by 11:30. But let me just tell you real quick what that was about. She of course was Muslim. Her issue was, when they moved, her father didn't come with them. She kept waiting on her daddy to come. Where's daddy? Where's daddy? Where's daddy? Mama just kept saying, he's coming. He'll be here. He'll be here. Well, come to find out, the reason daddy couldn't get there, daddy was actually preparing to marry another woman, right? And the baby was not ready for that. But she was 11. So how do you say anything in a situation like that when you're 11 years old and that is the custom? So there's nothing that she could say, but she internalized it and began to rebel, just really rebel. What was interesting, I thought too, Tracy, though, was that the only person that picked that up, the only person that picked up what was truly wrong with that girl was the imam who came over to pray for them. And because the mama said she needed an exorcism, right? But the real issue was the baby was literally under the bed hiding. Yeah, me too, Crystal. The baby was under the bed hiding when her mother got the news about her father marrying another woman. That was the issue. Let me see. My cousin said, Facebook says you are live, but it's not showing you live. Oh my God. We got to figure this out. I couldn't believe she did that. Corey said the movie seemed to be indicative of the experience of African, and then that's all I can see. It doesn't tell me anything else yet. So she internalized it, and she just started really, really, rebelling. But when the imam came to pray after she had tried to have her exercised twice, the imam came to pray for her, and he put his hand on her head, and the little girl did like he said, no, I have to pray for you, and he put his head right here, and he just prayed a soft little prayer. And when he finished, he went to the mother and he basically said to her 2 things. He basically said that this child doesn't need an exorcism. And the second thing that he just didn't string them together, but this is what he meant. The other thing he said was, your husband taking another wife, if it does not work for you, he said, you have the right to leave. And he said something to let her know that this, but he didn't string them together like in America would string the sentence together. He didn't string it together like that. But he said something to let her know that the baby was rebelling as a result of this had been made, right? And that was her way of rebelling. But he said to her, she doesn't need prayer, right? Pretty much, he's like, she need a break and some attention. So, okay, so let's see. Nothing was far-fetched, just sad reality. You exactly, Corey. I agree. Hi, Eileen. How you doing? You see my t-shirt, Eileen? I got my t-shirt on. You see it? My t-shirt say "Got Dreams." I got this shirt from Eileen. You see it? Yeah, that's what he said. There's no evil spirit here. That's what he said. Tracy said he basically said ain't nothing wrong with her issue. Right. Because she couldn't deal with the fact that her husband was marrying another woman, but she didn't, in her pain, she didn't deal with her daughter at all. She just kind of ignored her. Just completely ignored her and tried to, I don't think she really dealt with her issue either. She just suppressed it. But in her suppressing it, she was probably taking, because we didn't see her a lot. I'm assuming she was working. But that baby was home taking care of her business, taking care of the son and the baby, while she was somewhere probably working and disregarding what was going on. And the little girl just went out and that was it. Right. That was it. All of it came out that way. So I'm going to close this down. Any last thoughts on Cuties? If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it, y'all. It really speaks to our situation and where we are today. And I want to say it speaks to the fact that we are oftentimes, Tracy, like the mother, we're responsible and don't even realize we're responsible. And I'm saying that as a community, our responsibility should be in that we are not saying anything, we're not doing anything, we're not requiring anything of these artists and these record companies. That's what should be boycotted. That shit right there. Those are the organizations, the people, whatever, that should be boycotted, because they are responsible for if you have a platform, then damn it, you got the platform. Everybody wants to glory and no guts. Everybody wants, but they don't want to be responsible for receiving it. And I think that's a problem, because to he or she, who much is given, much is required. Period. Tracy said, "No boy can't fix for me. I'm promoting the movie." I know that's I know that's right, because it's the hard discussion that we need to have, for real. For real. Any last minute, anything else on that? All right. I'm gonna give it a minute or so, and then I'm moving on to the next topic. We're at 10:49, so we're a little over on this one. April says she will watch. Good. It is worth the watch. Don't watch it with, you have to watch it with, I was gonna say with your husband, but I don't even know about your husband. It's a grown woman's movie. You don't even want no little girls around that. It's a grown woman movie, really. But there's so much, them little girls they all bent over and all. You probably don't want to watch with your husband either, but with a grown woman for sure, or or a teenager, or or a young girl, because that can be definitely a conversation starter. Okay, creative Chris Collins said, "My last thoughts are how others can be open-minded enough to watch and see the spiritualism in it." That's true. In the end, the girl got to make her own choice. That's true. And jumped to the sky. That is true. That's true. That's very true. I read something in one of these articles too, where it said, the director said in the what she wanted to show at the very end is she's just a baby, and all the stuff that she's trying to do, she's only doing what you see. She's only regurgitating what she's eating, right? But it doesn't change the fact that she's a baby. She is a baby. So at the very end, like Crystal was saying, the girl ended up, at the very end, her mother, after hearing that statement from the imam, she didn't say anything once he told her that. She's kind of put her head down, but she heard it. We know she heard it because on the day of the wedding, when the daddy showed up with the woman, she was about to lose her mind. The baby was about to lose her mind, and she went to her mama and crying and just losing it. And the mama looked at her, and the mama said to her, "You don't have to go. You don't have to go." And she looked at her mother. She didn't want her mother to go either. Her mother, you could tell that she didn't want to go, but she wasn't quite ready to do differently than what she knew to do. So she kind of slowly put her I forgot what they call it, but the real fancy gele, put her gele on, and she went out. But she told her daughter, "You don't have to go." And when she told her she didn't have to go, she didn't put on that fancy dress they had bought for her. She went and put on some jeans and a t-shirt. She went outside and she caught them. "I see you, Lala. How you doing, mama?" She saw the babies outside. She went outside and they were twirling rope. And when she saw them twirling rope, she walked up to him, and the girl looked at her like, "You want to jump?" And she looked and she did. I don't know if she asked her anything, but she looked and she did like this. And she twirled and she just jumped and jumped. You could see the childlike wonder come back to her face, the joy come back to her, because on the way to that jump rope, she got an opportunity to pass the wedding ceremony. She looked in, she saw all her people together. She looked the other way at the outside door. She took that route and went to play jump rope. So very, very good movie. Very good movie. Let's see. Lala is in the house. Lala is in the house. Hello. Auntie told mom to suck. She so did. She told her suck it up when she realized that her husband had another one. Suck it up. That's what we do. That's pretty much what she said. Suck it up. She said, "No, you a woman. You got to be a woman and take it for the most part." So that's a whole nother conversation right there. Whole nother conversation. So I'm moving right along. I'm hoping, Corey, I think you are still over here on YouTube. So let me know what's going on with the picture and the sound, please, over on YouTube. Corey, please, or whoever else is over here. I see people, but I can't see their names. It doesn't show me. I don't know if my cousin is still here. Gwendolyn, if you're still here, let me know. But I can't see the other names of the people that are here. But welcome anyway. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you all know this is my first YouTube show. So please cut me some slack, because trying to figure out what's going on with this here platform. I think though, I've been looking at another one. I've been researching another one that we may use next time, but that's moving on. So let's talk about tea. What kind of tea y'all drinking tonight? I do have my cup. And mine is, do I want to tell that now? No, I'm not going to tell it now, but I will tell you what I put in it. I put a little bit of this in my tea so that it can be a really good tea. It was already good, but now it's a little better. So I'll tell you what kind of tea drinking in a bit. She had a mental breakdown stage. The little girl, she sure did. She sure did. You're Tracy, you don't like tea? Are you serious? Oh my God. Okay, so Lala, she said ginger and hibiscus with turmeric. I saw a ginger and turmeric today that I started to pick up. I didn't get that one today, but Lala, do me a favor in the okay, so Gwen said you're still here, but we're still breaking up. I'm so sorry. So thank y'all for coming. I do appreciate, and I appreciate you hanging out. So Pee-wee, are you on Instagram? Because it's working perfectly on Instagram. Okay, so Corey said she's watching it on the TV. It's pretty good. The connection on the phone is bad. I just muted it so I can chat while I'm watching. Oh, so she's watching it on TV. Watch it on the app. Y'all so technical. Y'all technical. Oh, y'all technical. IG is doing really good. And then Pee-wee, I don't know if you clicked on from Facebook, but apparently if you click on from Facebook, it works really well. Tracy said, run to IG, run to Instagram. Okay, so Tracy, you said you don't like tea. So I'm about to suggest you one. Lala, if you can let us, are you making your ginger hibiscus and turmeric tea? Are you mixing it or are you buying one? And let us know just 2 or 3 of the properties that are good for that. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you sharing. I see that Kat can share it on Facebook. I appreciate you. Let us know what some of the benefits of drinking ginger, hibiscus, and turmeric tea are, please, my dear. And she said, yes, ma'am. Anybody else, whatever you're drinking, just let us know. The tea thing I told you was twofold, right? Because here we go. In a world of the pandemic, I'm not, whatever it is, I don't want to get into that one today. Tracy said IG gives you 1 hour before they drop. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, we need as much as we can, whatever we can use to keep our systems good. It's interesting to me that before Dr. Sebi died recently, and before Brother Dick Gregory died, they kept talking about a day where Black people were going to need to be able to really, really take care of themselves. And they kept talking about us and our health, and they kept talking about supplements and herbal remedies, because we would not, there would be a time we would not want to be in a place where we were dependent upon the medical system. And I'll be damned if that ain't where we are right now. That is exactly where we are right now. So when I say we're going to pour a little tea, we're going to do that. But we're going to talk a little tea too. Teas that are good for you, that do your body good, right? So Tracy, hopefully we in our time together, you can find one that works well for you, that tastes good and that works well. Because currently Tracy said she don't like the way it tastes, or she said it's good, it's not good to her. So let's see. So Lala says I use the mixture to cleanse out today's food. Okay, great for digestion and blood pressure. Helps with my inflammation in my knee. Okay. And that's why Tracy said, and that's why they're dead. What are you talking about, Tracy? They did because they were old, Tracy, not because they didn't. And super old. Truth or Kroger tea? Truth or Kroger tea? What? You wait. So do you like tea or you don't like tea, Tracy? I'm confused. So Lala says that it's good for inflammation in her knee. So I had heard that, and I think I have that one in mind as well. For telling the truth, or the dead for telling the truth. Yeah. So yeah, that may be true. Okay, let's see. Angel said, I'm sorry. April said, I like herb in my herbal tea. Herb in your herbal tree? Wait. Did you say, oh, you like herb in your herbal tea? Okay, well, okay. That's good. She said she likes, and April does, April does, what do you call it? Infused meals. So that's probably why she like yogi teas are excellent. I agree with that, Crystal. Yogi teas are excellent. So, Troth, Kroger tea, sugar tea. Truth, Kroger tea, sugar tea. Tracy a mess. True, Kroger tea, sugar tea. Okay, roots work the best. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. All right, moving right along. Here we go. So the next thing is the tantrum. Okay, I don't need no paper for that. I don't need to write it. The tantrum for the day is homeschool hell. Homeschool from hell. Jesus Christ. Homeschool hell. Good God Almighty. Do any of you have children at your house that are now virtual students who were not virtual students before? I just want to know. I'm telling y'all, this whole homeschooling thing, and y'all know I'm a teacher by profession, but I'm not in the classroom no more. I left for a reason. Okay. This whole hosting kids at home, this is a bigger job for me. And God is my witness. I ain't lying. Hosting the kids at home has become a bigger job for me than it was when I was in the classroom teaching kids. Is that crazy or what? I know y'all hearing stuff about it, whatever you're hearing, but I want to talk about that. Tell me what you're hearing about it. But I have 3 students that are now home, right? So last time, right before the school year was out, when they kicked everybody out and said, no, we can't do it, send them home. That was a little different. It was a little different because I'm going to tell you why it was different, I think. Okay, Tracy said she got it, but hers ain't hell. It's not hell because she got a 16-year-old. He better handle his business. I have. Okay, so when they kicked them out the end last year, they knew they didn't know what they were doing. They knew we didn't know what they were doing. So nobody was trying to hold anybody really accountable because it was just a mess. And everybody knew, nobody knows what they're doing right now. But what's going on now, honestly, I think is now they should know what they're doing. At least they feel like they should know what they're doing. I don't think there's enough time for them to know what they're doing anyway. But they feel like they should know what they were doing. And they feel like people will feel like they should know what they're doing. So now it's different. The pressure is on. So I'm telling you that I have 2 that are in junior high school. The number of emails that come to me, and I got 3 total. The number of emails. I'm logged in on my job account. This is Sunny. Oh, hey, Sunny, what's going on? The number of emails that come to me for 3 children are absolutely ridiculous. But I do understand that they don't have another way to communicate with us. I know that. But it does not make 150 emails too many in 3 days, because that's what it feels like. And it may be in 150, but mind you, I have junior high school students and I have high school students, so they have more than one teacher. They have 4 or 5 teachers apiece. So if every teacher is emailing, and the secretary is emailing, and the principal is emailing, and the assistant principal is emailing, and the school maintenance man is emailing, and the librarian is emailing, and the lunch lady is emailing. They don't even eat lunch at school no more. That's too many fucking emails. How in the world keep that shit straight? It's impossible to keep straight. Everybody and their mama is sending emails all day, every day. I can't even fathom what the hell is going on. And then when they send the emails, they're only good for the day, because the next day they done figured out they messed up something, so they got to send something else back. Just forget what we said. Just forget what we said. This is all new. What? You know, and then on top of that, the system of teaching online, if they're not online teachers or they haven't been online teachers, this is new for them. They don't know how to do this. So since they do this, they want you to think they know how to do it. But what they don't know or don't understand is, I do know that there's a different platform for online teachers than there are for brick and mortar teachers. It's completely different, because I am certified as an online teacher, but that I just received over the past year, right? The 2-year program. And I know that it's different than brick and mortar. You got to learn the systems. You got to know the systems. They ain't learned that shit over the summer. And since they haven't learned it, they come back to school having to do it and act like they know what they're doing, but they clearly don't know what they're doing. So they sending you everywhere. After they send all the emails, the kids are going 25 places looking for links because they're not in a consistent spot like they should be, right? And so the kids are frustrated. I'm frustrated because I can't do any work outside of managing my children, because I don't want them to fail. And I know that it's too much of a system for them to carry. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, so Sonny said they don't know what they're doing and they had enough time. He said they had enough time, specifically at the state level. How come an educational institution in the 21st century don't have a remote system plan, whether they use it or not? That's a very good point. That's a very good point. That's a very good point, Sonny. Crystal says, damn, well, I'm grateful my mother and I have a class of 8. That is 4-year-olds and under in our home children now. And teaching for us is a breeze. Well, you better thank God for it, because most of us are not. Welcome everyone who's coming in. Welcome. Most of us are not having that experience. It's horrible. Sonny, I think you're right. They should have had a plan. I'm gonna tell you, another teacher friend of mine said just recently. She said they don't give a fuck about what's going on in the public school because their kids don't go to public school. I hadn't thought about it like that. She said those in power don't give a fuck about what's going on in the public school. She said that's why it's all fucked up and jacked up. They don't care. They act like they care. You know, they playing that game like they care. But if they really cared, we wouldn't be having this, because it wouldn't be happening in the public schools where their children go. That's for damn sure. Okay, so Gwen said, you said you're on YouTube on TV. Is it working there? Are you getting a clear picture and a clear sound? Gwen, let Creative Crystal said, Tracy said that part. She said they're not passionate enough. Right. Playing mind games like they've been doing forever and a day. Playing mind games. So I mean, I'm just about ready to pull my kids out. The only thing is, if I pull them out, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to homeschool. I left the classroom for a reason, because I wanted to do something else. I wanted to, to grow, to move, into something different. So I'm thinking of 2 things. Either I'm gonna pull them out and homeschool myself, or the other option would be to put them in K12.com. And I say that because I know they have that under their belt. They already got the system figured out. And the reason I know it is because I taught for K12.com when I first moved back to Michigan for a year. So I know they got it. Also, when my son came from Ghana, he .com for a year. So I saw it on both sides. I saw it as a parent and I saw it as a teacher. So I know that they have systems in place, and I hate to do that. I hate to think about it because, you know, there's the local schools, and I really like the schools they go to, or at least one of them, but I don't need the headache. I'm telling you every day, it's like it's a headache. Tracy said, but how do they feel, Vicky? The same way, Trace, the same way. They feel the same way. Because when you know, my oldest daughter do most of her stuff upstairs in her room. When she come down, I can see it in her eyes. It's just confusion. And she is the type that most of y'all, or some of y'all know Zoe. She will handle her own. She can do that. She can do that. She's very responsible. I don't have to worry about that. But when she come and her eyes look crazy, she looking cross-eyed and just kind of shaking her head, and she's not saying a whole lot to me because she know I got a lot on my plate. So then I have to just kind of stop and wait. I have to just kind of stop and wait a minute, because sometimes I don't want to be out like the woman was in Cuties, right? Don't know what the hell is going on because she's so wrapped up in her own thing, right? So I'll have to sometimes I have to stop and I'll just put everything and I say, how's it going? And she said, I didn't want to worry you, Mom, but I got too many. It's too many. It's too many emails. I'm confused. It's just too much. And then and this Lala said, hey, Zoe. So Tracy said the teachers are slick through letting class and in 10 minutes early. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my kids are getting a lot of that too. Miss Corey said, hey, baby, too, Ray. So that's been her confusion. Now the other piece is she also is she's going to the technical program this year. So that's the other piece for her, because she's going to the culinary arts program. So she was really looking forward to this. But because of all of this, they done said they're going to do culinary arts online. So they watching them make food from the video. They at the video watching them make. And them too, it's new for them. They've never done it before. So it's a barrage of emails all the time with information that is ever changing. Saiwa is really struggling because I think her teacher is more mixed up than any of them put together. Honestly, one of them, her home teacher, because I'm sitting here listening to what's going on. You know, I'm listening to it, and so I hear it, and it's just crazy. Okay, so this is a tantrum, of course. What do y'all have to say? I heard from Sunny, and I heard from Tracy. What else y'all got to say about what are you hearing? What are you feeling about homeschool? Even if you don't have children, I know if you have friends that have children, I know you heard about it. I know you have, because we can't help it. It become conversation everywhere we go. Zoe, can you give me some more hot water, please? Can you put some more hot water in my cup? Okay, so I see two coming in. Sunny says, we just did a culinary arts program, but the kids got food kits delivered and followed along with an instructor. I asked her that. And this is OTEC. Sunny said, you know what OTEC is? Well, they call it OSEC now, but it's the same building. It's NeoVec. Damn it. I asked Zoe, I said, are they going to deliver food kits to the house? She said, huh? I said, it seemed like, I know that, thank you. I know that when anybody I knew went to NeoVec. Is it hot? Somebody turned it off.
Yeah, me. I thought you was trying to burn the house down.
I was trying to keep it warm for when I wanted it. That's okay.
How would I know that?
And you wouldn't. That's okay. So I said, when you were in NeoVec, anybody I know in the culinary arts program, they always cooked. And April, you would know this, I'm sure. They always cooked at the school. So if you're not at the school, damn it, they'll send HelloFresh, a box of HelloFresh to your house a day. I mean, they can't send. I don't understand how they know that how they know that I'm gonna go and buy what you need to do that. Because I know that they got a budget for food that should be in that school. Yeah, I'm gonna ask them that. They think they're slick. Their asses ain't slick. Okay, so April said, mine are doing virtual academy. It is pretty well structured, but my 12-year-old has an IEP, so he uses a speech therapist. Okay, but if it's working well, that's awesome. That's awesome. It ain't working well over here. Even this with the speech therapist, he does well, April. Okay, so Tracy said, twisted my college son, didn't go back after freshman year. He said, I didn't sign up for this. I need to be in a class. Yeah, it's different. Oh, that's Tracy talking to Lala. She's in art school. Okay. Tracy said, my younger son is on IEP. They better keep up on his services. Yeah, I can. Yeah, that would be concerning me too. I'd be very concerned about that because it's hard to keep up on them when they have IEP and they're going to brick and mortar. So I would just because how are they going to keep up his services? What if they have manipulatives and stuff like that? They have to do with their hands and that kind of thing. Are they going to do they send kids to, see, that's the other thing I noticed about K-12, but riddle me this. You all who have children that are in a new virtual academy that became a virtual academy, did you receive kits? Because that's what I noticed with K-12. K-12 would send out kits to every family. When I say kits, I mean them boxes would be coming and coming and coming. I was like, where we gonna put all this shit? I mean, kits. So it would be a computer and a printer and a box of books and a whole box of 2 boxes of science materials and I mean stuff. My kids got a computer and it looked janky, honestly. They got a computer and I think they got 2 books and some pencils and pens from their new virtual academy, which I think is quite interesting. So tell me that. Did you all get kits with your new virtual academies, or did they get the package that we got? We got ain't no damn ish. You pay for all this. The cheapest computer ever. Listen, is it a bit much, my dear? Is it see? I thought it was just me. That's a little Chromebook. First of all, Chromebooks don't cost you nothing. I was like, y'all can't get a new Chromebook? Really? Because they don't cost nothing. Because if you go to the store, you can get a Chromebook for less than $200, $150, and that's just you buying one of them. So if you buying them in bulk, they probably get them jokers for $30. You couldn't get a new what? Let's say F them kids. And it ain't Bluetooth enabled. See, that don't make no damn sense. That don't make no damn sense. Okay, let me see. April said they're still trying to figure out how to accommodate. See, I read something yesterday that said that they're expecting across the world 23 million kids to drop out of school as a result of the pandemic because of this virtual learning stuff. 23 million. Can you imagine that? I feel so sorry for Gary, Indiana. This is Lala. She said they barely taught these kids. Now they struggle because they don't know any of this stuff. Plus, now they really have to do way more work than they're used to. It's crazy. And Millie said she got 2. Right. Millie said I got 3. And this is what I think about. 2 things that I think about quite often when I'm frustrated myself. Don't make me feel no better, but y'all do me a favor and share the video link. I really want to build my platform. Y'all help me, please. Help me by just sharing the link and inviting somebody on. Please, please, please. I think about 2 things. One thing is, what about the parents? And some of y'all know this already. What about the parents who have to go and punch a clock, a 9 to 5 every day? If you that parent, you cannot be reading fucking emails all day long outside of your job. I am fortunate enough to work from home and I can't read them. It's too much because I can't manage all of that and manage my life too. It's impossible to do that. I'm trying to run my own business. How am I do that and run your business? I'm like, shit, I got to run your business and my business. But you ain't paying me to run your business. You just working my nerve, right? So that's one thing that I think about. And then I think about 2 more things. What about the parent who is not computer literate at all? Everybody ain't in the computers. So if they're not, how the hell can they help a child who need help? And a lot of them will need help because all of this shit is new. So what about the parent they can't help? They don't have the capacity to help. Okay, and what about those, thank you, baby, who are second language English speakers, and their parents don't even speak English? What about them? How are they going to help? How many kids are just going to be looking at the computer glazed out, acting like they're doing work and they're really not? When the parents going to find out they done dropped out? If they don't speak English, when they going to find out? This shit is bigger than we think. It's bigger than we think. Okay, Tracy said, mine was first to drop out. Right. Creative Crystal said, what about kids who don't have internet? What exactly? And how are they learning? Right. And that internet, my understanding is that internet essentials is bullshit. Because it won't, because I've been in some meetings with parents where they're saying, I got 3 kids in the house, the speed ain't fast enough. Or I got 4 kids, the speed ain't fast enough. You know, so it's just bullshit all the way around. Okay, Crystal said that part. All parents can't even use a computer, and not some, even my age. Absolutely. That's why we predicted a dropout rate. That's right, exactly. Let me go over here. So on YouTube, Millicent said, F them kids, you're so stupid. Okay, so she said, no, Gwendolyn said, I don't believe that's what was taught in school could ever be taught at home by children nor their parents. That's true too. If you get your GED, you can at least take a college course at the local community college for free. That's true. 2020 dropout. You so silly. That's true though. I mean, that's going to be the reality. She said, I blocked the school. I don't blame you, because I'm gonna tell you this. My our principal sends out a like a weekly update. It's audible, and she sends it by phone like every week. I've been so inundated with emails, I can't even listen to her. I can't listen to them. I cannot listen to them because I'm already fed up with school by the time that message comes. I used to always put it down on work and I put it on speaker so I can listen to it on work. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like pouring water in a glass is full. I can't do it, which does not mean I'm not missing out on information that I know I need. I'm missing out on everything, but I can't do that too. It's too much. All right. Gwendolyn said, if a parent says laptop, send that child. She said, if a parent says laptop, LABTOP, send that child back to school. Right. That part. They should have canceled. Girl, April said they should have canceled the school year. I told my kids the other day, I said they need to take this whole motherfucker and roll it up and kick this shit out the door. Just roll it up like a blunt and kick it out the door. Just get rid of it. Or roll it up and smoke it. They said need to roll it up and get rid of it. I'm telling you. Just get rid of it. And Millicent says she don't have to go in the office. She will be starting Monday. This shit ain't no. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Okay, April 4th says, so what if the kids graduate a year later than expected? Yeah. I agree. Why don't we just chuck it up? Just take one for the team. Everybody go home and relax. I think so too, because here's the thing. It's happening all over the world. So the whole world can just step back a year and let us figure this shit out. Sonny said, Millie Gunn, is that Dippy? I'll let y'all handle that one. Okay, Crystal said, laugh out loud. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so okay, we are way over our time, but that's okay. Listen, do me a favor as we are preparing for the last topic. Please, that is our tantrum. That was my tantrum. Listen, don't forget this. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. I have a new email. I'm gonna put it in here real quick. If you have a topic that you would like to talk about, whether it's a topic, it's tantrum, or a little bit of tea, send it to VBTray, info@vbtray.live. Info@vbtray.live. Send the information there, and then we'll use it. If I use your topic or your tantrum or your tea in the show, then I'll give you something. Like, for instance, and Tracy, this is what I was going to give you. And you just said you didn't like tea. So I'm not going to give you that. I had to find something else for you. But I will share now what I am drinking. So I am drinking Teavana. Let me pull it back so you can see it. So I'm drinking Teavana. And this one is real. This one is really good. Okay, it's really good. I got this one today. I'm gonna tell you what's in it. First of all, it's one of those real the little cutesy ones with the pyramid bags, you know, one of those little cutesy ones. But it's oh, it smells so good. Let me tell you what's in it. First of all, the name of it is Youthberry. All right, so it's called Youthberry. And there are 20 tea bags in here. No, 15. But I'm gonna tell you what's in it. I got to look over my glasses because my eyes are getting aged. So it says a citrus white tea blended with bright pops of tropical flavor featuring mango, orange, hibiscus, and rose petals. Did you hear that, Lala? Hibiscus? Mm-hmm. Okay, and it says and rose petals. There's a hint of paradise in every sip of this lush blend. So it's very fruity and it's very good. But what's the best about it is that it has hibiscus and rose petals, which are both beneficial for us, right? So I'll share a few facts about those benefits before we go. So that's what I'm drinking, Tivana, and it is great. And I did put a little bit of Avion in there. That didn't have nothing to do with, that's my recipe tonight. Tivana, Avion. Tivana, Avion. It's a wind down show. What can I say? Okay, so let's see. These last few before we move on. Tracy says she drink coffee. So tell her what she's won. Tracy, you won coffee from me. I'm gonna give you coffee. What kind of coffee do you drink? Do you have a particular blend? That's my gift to you for because I used your topic tonight, which was cuties. Tell me what kind of what kind of coffee you drink, and I'll get you some coffee. All right, so Lala said, you missed the convo on the kids in school. Yeah, that was good stuff. I'm telling you, we'll get back to that. You will catch me up. Okay. The crafty chick. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came. Thank you for coming. Please share the stream. Let me put in here. Tracy has helped me out. And she told me to make sure that I went to Instagram because I was having issues. Sonny, can you hear me really good? You and Millicent on Facebook or on YouTube? Tell me how you logged on, please. And I am putting in this chat the email where you can send info if you like to suggest a topic, a tantrum, or you got some tea to spill in the show. And we will get together again next Wednesday night. Please share the information, please. I'm on YouTube and it's cool. Awesome. So everything, the picture and the sound is good, Millicent. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see what Corey is saying. Prayers to all the parents and students. Thank you, Corey. Corey, I mean that. Thank you very much because I need prayer. I need somebody to pray for me. Serious than a mug. That's what my brother Sonny say. Serious than a mug. This is a stupid. This is what it says. This is a stupid mail. Another reason to go vote. That's true. This would have never happened with an actual leader. Never, 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 never. Absolutely. Okay, so let me just post this to YouTube, to IG, because give me 1 second, y'all. I'm post this to IG because my video just went out. So let me just topics, tantrum, tea. We'll get back to the rest of it later. Let me post that and see if I can go on again, and then I can continue. Our last and final is, of course, the tea. We're going to pour the tea. Let's see what else I see on here. That's because we couldn't cuss. I logged on via YouTube. I can hear you fine. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let me see if I can get back on. Will they let me on IG again right away or no? Does anybody know? Let's see. They might be like, you hogging? No, don't you come back on here no more. Oh, I'm live again. There I go. All right. On YouTube now, I'm flipping back and forth. Okay, I'm back to, I just opened up another Instagram page, Crystal, if it works better for you. All right, we are about to close it out with this last piece, and we are spilling the tea. Thank y'all so much for logging in. I really appreciate it. God knows I do. God loves you. God knows I do. And I get up there. I ain't killing y'all, though. I ain't killing y'all. I love you. God knows I do. Okay. All right. So what did it say? We're telling your followers that you started a live video. Y'all do that? Instagram? This is awesome. All right, so here we go. Last thing. Last thing is, I see you, Chris. Hey. Tim Norman of Sweetie Pies. All right. This shit right here. I can't this shit right here. All right. So how many of you just, let me know. Say, I don't know. Just type, I don't know if you don't know anything about the story. Then I know how much backstory I need to give you. This is about, y'all know who Sweetie Pie is from the show Welcome to Sweetie Pies, which was a, let me tell Tracy I'm back. She just sent me something and said it's off. IG ended. Let me just let her know it's back on. You all please share this video. Share the link so that we can build the YouTube platform. I started out with, I think we had 60 something followers earlier this week. And when I started pushing the channel, people really came in. I think we were at 150, I believe, when before I logged on today. So we're moving. Please help me build the platform. Please help me to build this platform so that we can continue to give you a little entertainment and definitely some empowerment. So here we go. Somebody said a little bit. Okay, he vicious. Right. If you don't know anything about this, say I don't know. Say I don't know. And just let me know, and then I'll give you some backstory. But I'm about to give you some now. If I don't see a lot of I don't know, then I know you don't need a bunch of backstory. But let me tell you about this right here, though. This is really interesting. So Sweetie Pie, of course, is Sweetie Pie from Welcome to Sweetie Pies, the own TV show that is no longer on, and it has to do with Sweetie Pie restaurants that started off. Let me see in this video about the yeah, it is. But you missed it. That was early in the hour, Sonny. That was the first thing. That was topic. Then we did Tantrum. Now we at tea. Spilling a little tea. So Sweetie had the show. The show was wonderful. So here's the thing. I wrote some points down that I don't want to forget. So the show, if you did not see the show, it was a fabulous show. It was a family-oriented show, and it made you want to. I mean, when you saw these people working in this restaurant that she created from the ground up, once she could no longer sing as an ICAT. Apparently, Sweetie had something that happened to her vocal cords, and as a result of it, she decided that she would open a restaurant using her mother's recipes. And the recipes were obviously fabulous, because what happened back in about, maybe 2012 or something like that, is Oprah showed up. And we all know that when Oprah show up, the shit must be good. And even if it ain't good, when she say it's good, the shit is going to be good. So Oprah showed up at Sweetie Pies and put her on the map. All right. And so Millie said, that's why I got fat. I'm blaming that damn home cooking. Right. You and me both. So that's what happened. She showed up at Sweetie Pies and said, this is her and Gail, traipsing all over the world like they do. And I ain't mad at them. I want to go too. I wish I could go with her. But she said Sweetie Pie's food was off the chain, and Sweetie Pie blew up. She had one little restaurant over there in I think East St. Louis, and it just blew up. Sweetie Pie started opening up, and then she had a son which was Tim Norman. Right. Oprah is the stamp of approval. Exactly. So Sweetie had a son named Tim Norman, and Tim had been in jail for, I think it was armed robbery. I believe it was. Did I think 10 years. I could be wrong, but he did something like that, and came home, and she had a heart for giving ex-cons a job and so on and so forth. So who better to start with than your baby, right? So she put Tim Norman to work. And Tim, if you don't know what the show was about, it was really about she and her son Tim and their family running these restaurants, what turned into several restaurants in several states, right? With her at the helm, because a lot of what happened, a lot of that growth came from Tim's help, not just her. He worked too. He worked hard too. So all is going well. They at one point they have several restaurants, and right before this all happened, they just expanded. Before the pandemic, they expanded into Mississippi. and had a place in Mississippi as well. But they have several restaurants. You just imagine, right? They have a TV show on OWN. Okay. They now have at this point, they had a branded tea, a branded tea, Sweetie Pie's tea. It was a cold tea, my understanding is, but they had a branded tea. You all please like the video and share with somebody. You know, that's what helps us move on YouTube platforms, sharing, and then of course, subscribing and liking. Please like the video. If you haven't liked it, please like it very quickly. Thank you very much. Okay, so what she did was they made a tea, and Tim pushed that he wanted her to brand this tea, and she did that. So they were doing really, really well. Tim even had a woman. He started dating some girl from some reality show that honestly, when I saw them together, I was thinking, I mean, first of all, let's just say this. Y'all know what Tim looked like, right? If you don't know what Tim looked like, let me just say this. He was not the best shaped man, I mean, he was interestingly shaped. I'll just say that. Very interestingly shaped. And so when I saw with this chick that was kind of like one of those, she's like arm candy type. I was like, I can't really see her interest in, but Tim had that moolah though, and he was growing. Okay, I didn't want to say it, but Millicent said it, so I'm gonna go just say what Millicent. Millicent said he got woman hips. He got woman hips. If you didn't know that, I mean, big old juicy woman hips and thighs too. And then somebody said, I was looking at somebody talking about him the other day, and they said he got big mama arms. They said, he looked like, I was like, oh my God, you mean like mine? They said he got big mama arms. He got them kind of arms like that. He can make real good fried chicken. And he can. Shit, he's Sweetie Pie's son. He can make good fried chicken. Anyway, okay, Jennifer Williams from basketball. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you. That is who she was. So he started dating her. I mean, things were really up for Tim, right? And then all of a sudden in 2016, because by now the show has gone on for 4 or 5 years, right? There's people love the show. Beautiful, wonderful show. And I love this show. I watched it. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I did watch at least, I'm gonna say maybe 50, 60% of the episodes. I really like Sweetie Pie. 2016, Sweetie Pie has a grandson whose name is Andre. And Andre has been clearly, it looked like a troubled child, right? He had moved with her to, he had moved to St. Louis from Texas, I believe it was. He was living with his mom in Texas, but he was, seems like a troubled child. And he was right around 16, 17 when he came to St. Louis, and he came to St. Louis to work in her restaurant. And from my understanding is also to learn more about his family, on his father's side, because his father was Sweetie Pie's other son who is no longer with us. Okay, so keep that in mind. She had 2 sons, not just Tim, but who would have been older than Tim, who died who was killed when Tim was 2 or 3 years old, I think my understanding is. So that was Andre's father. So Andre's mother, my understanding is, wanted him to know more about his mother too. I mean, his father's people. Now, Sweetie Pie was cautious about him coming because there's a lot of crime and a lot of gang banging and that kind of thing in St. Louis. But I think she wanted to hold him close because, again, that's her baby's son, right? That's her grandbaby. And he had every right to be close to his father's people, right? So I could tell in the show that she was kind of reluctant about it because she didn't want him to get in no trouble, but she still said, okay, come on. And when he came, let me read a few more comments. Tracy called me a gold digger talking about Jennifer Williams, I'm sure. Okay, Corey said Tim didn't even try to dress his body. I think he got greedy and lost his mind. Hold that thought. And that one of Tim's arms is bigger than the other one. What? I never noticed that. One of his arms is bigger than the other. Which one? Tell me which one. I thought I want to look at it when they take about. I want to see which one is bigger. The left one or the right one? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. So going back. So Andre came to stay with his grandmother. And she put him to work in a restaurant. She loved Andre, and that was very clear. It was a big deal when Andre was able to graduate from high school in St. Louis, because it looked like Andre was not going to graduate. And I think Andre has some special needs too, that I don't know if they were really dealing with or not. I can't really tell. The other thing too, you can look at Andre and tell that Andre he seemed like to me like he was high all the time. Like he might have been a very heavy smoker, right? Needless to say, there was some questions, there was some conversation about the possibility that Andre may have been drug dealing in St. Louis, and Sweetie was concerned about that. I could tell, but they didn't know for sure. But it seemed like that. Let me take you back. Well, I don't want to miss this point. Andre's father, I told you, was killed when Tim was about 2 or 3 years old, and he was killed on a road in St. Louis called Natural Bridge Road. Natural Bridge Road is very well known for shootings and that kind of thing. And that's where his father was killed. At the same time, Tim Norman's father, which would have been Sweetie Pie's boyfriend, because they weren't married, but Tim Norman's father also got killed on Natural Bridge Road years ago. So you got Tim Norman's father, my understanding is, was killed on Natural Bridge Road. And then Sweetie Pie's oldest son, which is Tim's brother, was killed on Natural Bridge Road. And now 2016, somehow Andre was killed shot to death, coming out of a recording studio on Natural Bridge Road. So I'm saying that to say, you can imagine, if you don't know this already, if you don't know this backstory, you can imagine how traumatic this must be for Miss Sweetie, because she has lost the love of her life, her oldest son, and now her oldest son's son, her grandson, all to death on Natural Bridge Road. That happened in 2016. That was a major deal. They were really going through the whole. Millicent said, throw the whole road away. I know that's right. Just throw it away. Just roll it up like a blunt and smoke it. Just get rid of it. Crystal says, I'm going to have to read more about this and school myself more. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's really interesting. So here we go. That was a big deal, right? They dealt with that in the show. Sweetie was messed up about that. And not just him, but his people, because they were just, and you could tell they're a tight family, right? So they were just kind of receiving Andre. Andre wasn't raised in St. Louis. He was raised in Texas with his mother. But they had received him into the fold, and they were happy to have him, and they were loving on him, and he was a part of the gang, right? That's how it was. And when this boy got shot in 2016, everybody was a mess. Fast forward to 2020, a little over a month ago. It comes out, allegedly, according to the feds, that Tim Norman is responsible for Andre's death. That Tim Norman set Andre up to kill him in a murder for hire plot. I said what I said. Allegedly. Tim Norman set Andre up and killed him in a murder for hire plot. I'd already heard this, and I just got stunned thinking about it. Okay, Miss Robbie was very hurt. She was. Gwen says this when her grandson Andre got killed. She was super hurt. She was way hurt. But you can imagine, because it dredged up 2 other killings of men in her life in the same way, like a curse or something. So here's the interesting thing. What's going on with Tim Norman if Tim Norman did this? So let me just tell you how they say it was done now. Let me tell you how it is before we talk about the other piece. This is according to the feds, allegedly. This is what happened. Tim Norman knew that Andre was coming to town, because Andre done moved back to Texas by now. But he was coming to town to see his grandmother. And in him coming to town to see his grandmother, he was planning on being there for a couple of days, right? And he wanted to do some work in the studio, because apparently he had some kind of a desire to be a rapper or something like that. Just like Tim, his big ass want to be a rapper. Did y'all know that? He got something on YouTube too. 1 or 2 pieces on YouTube where he's supposed to be. Anyway, I'm thinking you're older. Your ass is too old and oddly shaped to be a rap artist. I shouldn't have said that, but it's the truth. Okay, let's see. Millie said, "Take Tim to Natural Bridge Road, and what happens happens." I know that's right. Take his ass over there. Okay, so apparently, Miss Sweetie was waiting to see Andre because she knew that he was going to be in town for a couple of days. Because apparently, it was just to come see her for the most part, but he was going to take care of some business while he was there. Well, what she knew in 2016 and what we knew in 2016, she said, Melissa said, Fat Hips is his rap name. So apparently, this is what Sweetie knew, what came off in the show, that somebody called Andre outside of the recording studio, and he was out there for a few minutes before somebody shot him. That's all they knew. That's all they knew, right? According to the feds, Tim, the person that called him out, was a stripper that they call, I can't remember her name, Tamika, I think her name is. But some stripper who apparently, allegedly, Tim had a relationship with in the past, may still have a relationship with her. But he allegedly told this Tamika chick, I think her name is Tamika, if I remember correctly, or Tarika, it might be Tarika, to call Andre and tell Andre to come outside. When Andre came outside, he was outside in less than three minutes, and somebody shot him in cold blood. Well, it looks like, let me see. Gwen says the feds will not approach you without concrete evidence. I know, absolutely. Well, let me tell you how they even found out that Tim was talking to Tarika at all. Well, apparently, Tim's ass bought 2 burner phones for him and Tarika, allegedly, just 2 to 3 days before this happened. And it may have been 2 days before it happened. Came to St. Louis, where he was, where they were, where Tarika was, and where he was. Got in a hotel room with 1 phone. She had the other phone. What the feds say allegedly happened was there was calls made between these 2 people on these burner phones that were purchased either 2 days or the day before. 2 days before, the day before the shit happens, right? What they can prove, or what they say they can prove, is that Tim made a call to Tarika, that Tarika, not long after, made a call to Andre. Andre came out to see what Tarika said. Andre was shot within 2 to 3 minutes. And then Tarika made a call back to Tim Norman. The next day, Tarika deposited $9,000 plus in an account. And according to them, she stayed broke. A broke stripper, right? Stayed broke. They said she deposited $9,000 plus in increment, or in patch in 2 or 3. One account that they said that had been negative for more than 4 months, I think it was. She deposited a chunk in there and then opened 1 or 2 other accounts and deposited money in there, and then got on a flight and left and went, I want to say Mississippi. I don't remember exactly where she went. But wherever she went, they also found out and said that allegedly, she and Tim Norman were in St. Louis at the same time and then left, going different directions immediately when this thing was over. Let me read some of these comments. Let's see. Crystal said, I'm Googling it right now. I'm Googling this shit right now. Okay. And Millicent says she didn't know 5,000 was the limit per day, no matter what. Technically 4,000. No, I guess she didn't. But if you ain't never had no money, you don't know what the fuck to do. Gwen said, Tim, big, dumb, stupid ass. Exactly. Now, this shit gets thicker than that. It's thicker than that. They find out that 4 months earlier, I think it was. Don't quote me on that. Y'all can look it up yourself. But I believe it was 4 months earlier that Tim took out several life insurance policies on Andre, of which he was the only beneficiary. Y'all heard that right. Several policies equaling up to, I think it was $450,000, I believe it was. And he was the only beneficiary of these accounts. Now, not only did he take these out, allegedly, but he also took them out with some shady motherfucker. Some Chaldean or something like that. He took them out with some shady nigga who used to be a music producer. I don't know if he still produces or not, but at one time he's a music producer, and he produced something huge on one of Nelly's albums. So this music producer turned insurance agent worked with Tim, allegedly, to create these accounts, and there were two or three policies, 2 to 3 policies, equaling up to $450,000. But here's an interesting thing. The shit get deeper in. This is why Gwendolyn is saying Tim's big, dumb, stupid ass. Because they had the information that they put on the accounts were no good. They had lied and said allegedly that he had had a family and that he had a job making certain kind of money and da 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 da. But all the shit that they created, they were able to do that because this rapper turned insurance agent was janky. So they made up some shit that when it came time to collect on the bills, which he did try to collect on the insurance policies, something like a week later, the shit didn't line up. So guess what? The motherfucker didn't get nothing. Can you believe that? He didn't get nothing. He didn't collect on the money because the shit was rigged up. It wasn't even right. And when they went to check the information, they find out that the shit didn't line up. So here him and her brilliant ass. Melissa said, "Please stop." Her and her brilliant ass done rigged up something, and guess what? The only one that got paid was Tarika. The stripper was the only one that got paid. How about that? She the only one that got paid. So currently, right now, okay, Gwen said Tim didn't know that his mother, Miss Robbie, insurance policy was his. See, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know. Now, here's the other piece too. Tim didn't know that his mother, Miss Robbie's insurance policy was his. Okay, so I didn't know that. Here's the other piece too that they found out recently, allegedly. Allegedly, he's got $1 million policy on Miss Robbie. $1 million policy. That my understanding is that she didn't know anything about. Is that some shit or what? That is some shit right there. Is that some shit right there? It's a shit show. So the last I read, the last I heard, Tim Norman was in jail. Tarika's dusty ass was in jail because she was looking real dusty when they picked her up. Wait, and if you haven't seen Tim Norman's picture, his mugshot from when they picked him up, that nigga's sitting up in the mugshot like this. What you fucking for? This is not candid camera, Mickey Ficky. Why is you sit up in the camera grinning like you done won the lotto? He's that lets you know how dense he is. He is sitting in the camera face mugshot just like this. I said, this motherfucker's really crazy. He's really crazy. I mean, grinning, somebody's. What is you doing? What is you doing? Quentin said he was cheesing. Yeah, he was cheesing. I said, do he know what they pick him up for, or do he think they picked him up to go to Red Lobster or something? I don't understand. So here it is. She is, hey, Jabril, what's going on with you? Hello, hello, hello. So currently, unless something has changed, the two of them are in jail. And the producer turned janky insurance agent. Oh, he posted bail because he got money, right? So he posted bail. He might have spent the night in there, maybe. But they ass has been in there for what, a month or so. So I guess my question is, what the fuck is wrong with Tim Norman? And what's wrong with us? What is wrong with, where did it go? Okay, Stephanie. Hey, Steph. She said he's a big dummy. In the words of Fred, I know that's right. Big old dummy. Big old dummy. Fat hip dummy. I shouldn't say that because that boy can't help his hips. He can't help his hips. Lord have mercy. He got some big ones too. Ooh-wee, but I do know one. Tim is just plain old high. Is that what it is? Well, that's what I was going to say. What do y'all think? I mean, I gave you a backstory, but some of you already know. Do y'all think he really did it? Do you think? I'm thinking about what Gwendolyn said a minute ago, and she said the feds don't come unless they have something concrete. I think I agree with that. I do agree with that. There's another piece though that I think about. Do they really have it? Because the feds can also set you up if they want to, and won't nobody be able to say nothing different about it. I mean, because they the feds. So I thought about that too. I don't know. What do y'all think? I'm interested to know what you think. What do you think about it? Did Tim do this? Did he do this? Gwendolyn said, yes, I believe he did it. What y'all think? Anybody else? Stephanie said his mother was trying to build an empire and you go and do some dumb shit like that. Just greedy. You know what I did, Stephanie? That reminds me. I went back to I started looking at the old clips, right? Because like I said, I didn't watch 100% of that show. I did watch maybe about 60%. So I missed some stuff and I didn't watch anything consistently. So I went back and started looking, and y'all can look up some of these videos because they're online, right? But I started looking at some of the older stuff to watch because, hindsight is 2020. And there is a clip that is on YouTube where Sweetie Pie go back to Natural Bridge Road together, Sweetie and Tim. And I just watched the way he was just kind of towering over her and just kind of looking kind of nervous when they were back at Natural Bridge. And clearly you could tell that the producers had her do that. She didn't want to do that. She didn't want to go back there. But, she's getting a paycheck and they kind of get you to do what they want you to do. So she was there, but he was just looking real nervous, which I thought could have been, he's on Natural Bridge Road. It don't seem like a good place for black men to be, But it also seemed like he was just a little, I don't know, just a little on edge, you know what I'm saying? A little more it was a little different. It was a little different than just on edge. It was interesting. But that was interesting. They went back to Natural Bridge together. And she was saying such bad memories. They had so bad memories. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, same place that Pop got killed, right? Yeah. But if he did it, then he was, just that kind of, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, let's see. Stephanie said, I think he did. Who buys such a big policy on a cousin? That's right. That's a red flag. That is a red flag. And how come? Here's the other thing. So this is what the conversation has been. That he brought the policy because Andre he was about that life. And he knew or assumed that he wouldn't be around long. I think that's a good excuse to buy the policy. I don't know if that's why he bought it. But what I think is interesting is this though. Along with what you said, Stephanie, he bought that policy, but nobody knew anything about it. If it was about the care, your love, or your concern about for him, how come his mother didn't know? How come your grandmother didn't know that there was a policy for your nephew so that if something happens to him, you all can put him away nicely and make sure that that his people are taken care of. His mother, for instance, is taken care of. But he didn't do that. He had a policy nobody knew shit about, and it was janky. Okay, Gwendolyn said, I did not miss one episode. Oh, wow. Stephanie said he was very babyish, immature. Yes, he was. Like she had to make him do a lot of work in the beginning of the show. Yeah, that's true. And he seemed somebody said that I was reading something somewhere, and they said that one thing they noticed about him is he seemed to be jealous of anybody else that was on there. He seemed to be kind of jealous. He was always saying things to kind of downplay others, that were around, and especially when it had to do with those young men that were around. So I thought that was real interesting. That was real interesting. Creative Crystal said, money, money, money. Money, 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 money. I know. So I'm looking at some of the older shows, and I thought, where did it all go wrong? Because he got shot in 2016, right? Before he got shot, I mean, they were doing so well. They were doing so well. She was giving him more responsibility, although it seemed like it might have been a bit much for him though, because Sweetie Pie pushed hard. Sweetie pushed hard. I could tell that. She pushed hard. But they were doing, I just was watching it. And the way they interact, the loving relationship that, or at least that's what I thought it was, or what I felt like it was. I was looking at, and so I was thinking, and I could see the change, as I looked at I could see things kind of slowly, where, for instance, he seemed to be too much pressure for him. Maybe not for her, but for him, because she's a hard taskmaster, right? And then I saw some things where it seemed like he wanted more than he was trying to bite off more than he could chew. So that could cause a lot of pressure, whatever. So those things were kind of making me think, that could cause some friction that may not be good. But when I look at the beginning and then I find out what happened in 2016, I'm like, damn, you have to be very careful, because things can change in a snap, in a snap. 30K is enough to bury a cousin. Yes, it is. You can do it for less than that too. Gwendolyn said he's dumb. If he was so smart, he would have all the information on the policy correct. That's right. Miss Robbie has all the money that she needs, right? And if she had to bury anyone, that's true. The question about, y'all remember there were 2 break-ins in their house that took place. You all, please share the video. Thank you. Like and share the video, please, so that I can grow the platform. You all can help me grow the platform, and I appreciate y'all coming tonight. I really do. I really do. I really, really do. Stephanie said, classic, only boy, spoiled him. Yep. The way he broke up with the fiance, she was very disappointed. She sure was. And his ability to be I agree with that. His ability to be an independent man, he couldn't seem to do it. He really did. He hurt her really bad. This is interesting too. My understanding is, what I gather from the show is that Sweetie, of course, didn't raise him, because she was doing her thing. And I kind of felt like some of the stuff that she gave him and did for him, that she probably did out of feeling bad, just out of I'm drawing a brain French. I know what I mean, because she didn't really raise him. She got back to him later on in her life, and so she probably was trying to make up for lost time by giving him. But it didn't help. And I could imagine that when she was out in the world doing her thing as an ICAT, I bet she was sending all kind of stuff, because she couldn't be with him. So he probably has always had a lot, had what he wanted, and a lot of attention, because if you got a parent that's on the road and another parent that's dead, your grandparents or whoever around you, your people are gonna really do the best they can to make you feel warm and welcomed and wanted, because of the fact that your mother's never here and your father can't be here. All right. He was the reason I stopped watching. He was so whiny. Yeah, he was. He got on my nerves. Yeah. I know. I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of watchers too, a lot of fans of that show that don't like Tim. Thought Tim was irritating, So that, I just think it's a horrible thing. I just want to know, what did y'all think about that right there? Did he kill him? Y'all think he did kill him? Is he being set up? Y'all don't think he's being set up? And do you think the feds was railroading him? And clearly y'all don't think that. And I don't think I believe it either. I just feel bad for Miss Robbie. I feel bad. Not just her, because she ain't the only one in that family. Millie said, ain't nobody posting bail for him. No, ain't nobody. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Nobody posting bail for all that shit he been doing. Ain't nobody posting bail for him. Not a soul. And I just feel sorry. But I mean, he spent, I think it was 10 years in jail already, but see them hips come through there. Ooh-wee. It's gonna be some happy brothers. That's all I gotta say. Okay. Listen, that is the end of our show. I was trying to be out at 11:30, but I am glad y'all came back. So glad y'all came back. This was fun. It was fun. Please do me a favor. Share the stream if you will. Invite somebody to the show for next week. We'll do it again next week. Same time. Stephanie said terrible tragedy for his mother, Miss Robbie's family. Absolutely, for all of them. I feel bad for all of them because they were tight. They were tight knit. I really feel bad for them. So say a prayer for their family. You know, yep, spoil mama's voice. Say a prayer for their family. Also, I put in the chat